And David Begnaud joins us now from San Juan, Puerto Rico. David, it's been 9 days since Hurricane Maria made landfall. How are residents dealing with the long lines and the low food supply? I mean, are people at a risk of actually starving there?
Absolutely. I mean, look, Don, here's the deal. How are they dealing with it? Two words that I would say define the Puerto Rican right now are resilient and exceptionally patient. But let me say this, they're growing weary. You've got people who stocked up before the hurricane but are starting to run out of their food supply. They are surrounded by water in Aguadilla, where we just came from, yet they are so desperate for a drop to drink. Okay, I cannot stress to you how dire the situation is in the area where we were in sort of the main city center today, where the mayor of Aguadilla had about 2,000 meals prepared for people, and he ran out within probably 40 minutes. The Red Cross was there handing out bottles of water and snacks, but you know how much was handed out? Each person got 4 bottles of water and 3 snacks, including kids. I saw a woman walk up and put a Clorox bottle up to a water spigot, and that's what she filled up with drinking water. She said, "It's all I have." They're desperate there. Look, FEMA's there, the military's there, and more of those personnel are on the way. But Don, it's 9 days from the hurricane, and if it sounds like a broken record, it is. But it's starting to break people's heart. People don't understand. You know, people keep telling me, let's remind the people on the mainland and the government leaders that we are Americans too. What is taking so long?
Yeah, David, I know you traveled to the West Coast. You were describing some of that just a moment ago. What were the roads like there? Are they still blocked? And describe that journey and what you found.
Not at all. The roads aren't blocked at all, and that's an important point. If you're going to the middle of the island where it's mountainous, we're hearing that the roads are impassable. But the roads are fine. We drove 70 miles an hour to get to Aguadilla. But on the way there are people waiting for fuel. Don, the lines are a mile long in some places, and they go all night, okay? Gas stations will close at dark when the curfew goes into effect, but people will stay there. They sleep in their car, and they wait for the gas station to open the next morning. There are also lines at banks, ATMs. The only way you can buy fuel right now is if you have cash.
As you know, the president's administration has repeatedly touted the federal efforts, saying that this is a huge success and that it's a good news story, and that the press is not portraying this fairly. Well, what's your reaction to that, being on the ground since even before the storm happened?
You know what my reaction? Ask the Puerto Rican people.
Yeah. Well, you've been talking to them. You've been hearing what they say. I know they're grateful for when they do see FEMA and the military there. But is that every time that we have you on and we have interviews with people, there is both a combination of defeat and desperation there. I mean, are things improving at all, or is it still in a state of stasis?
No. It's still in a state of emergency, Don. 9 days later, we're not talking about starting to rebuild. We're talking about rescuing. We're talking about finding a place. Listen, I just got a call before I came on CBSN with a man who runs a disability assistance center in the U.S. that said they are fielding calls from people on this island who are getting in touch with relatives, for example, in this case, saying, I haven't had dialysis in 4 days. I'm desperate to get it. The dialysis center has no water, it has no power, and we can't have dialysis right. Listen, the president can say what he wants. The bottom line here is nobody has said Donald Trump's name. The only thing they've said is, what is taking the U.S. government so long? Where are they? Now, I can tell you, FEMA's there. FEMA's everywhere. But what we're seeing, Don,
yeah. David, your signals
in the hand. Look, the Red Cross is in Aguadilla.
Yeah.
The mayor's the one who made 2,000 meals this morning.
Your signal's breaking up a little bit, yeah, but I want to keep talking if we can make sure that we have a good connection with you. Let me ask you this, though. I heard this morning that there is a weather forecast for torrential rain and potential flash floods over the weekend. In your travels, have you seen, do people have shelter? Are there tarps? Are there enough buildings with roofs that people are going to be able to get out of the weather when this hits?
There are tarps over several homes. For example, in Aguadilla, where the mayor says 1,500 homes have their roofs ripped off. Some people have tarps, but that's another thing that the mayor is trying to get more tarps for more people. Because remember, Don, it's a tropical place. On the western side of the island in Aguadilla, it rains almost every day. So that's an important element, but right now it's not a life-saving element, because the only thing people are talking to us about is food, water, and medicine.
Wow. All right, David. On a personal note, I just want to thank you and your team for the work you guys have been doing under some really difficult circumstances. We're all very proud of you, and we appreciate it so much. Thank you in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Don, thank you. Let me say this. I've told people we can't fix it, but we can shine a light on it. And we don't plan to leave until enough people have seen that light be shown on what's going on.
It's important work, and we thank you again.